Hey students, take a look at the numbers in the following group. Now, take a look at these numbers. How are they related? If you answered that each number in the group on the right is 3 times the value as the numbers in the group on the left, you're correct. We can perform the same type of transformation with groups of elements in a JavaScript array using the map method. If you watch this video in its entirety, you will be able to use the map method of a JavaScript array to transform numbers. That's it, just one learning objective today. It shouldn't be too painful, so let's get started. As you learned in a previous lesson, arrays allow us to store a collection of elements usually of the same data type. The map method can be used to transform each element of an array into a new element of another array by passing it through a function. As with all of these lessons, an example will help to demonstrate the concept. We will begin by tripling the values of an array just as we saw in the introductory segment. As you can see, I've opened a basic HTML template. Inside of the script tags, we will create a function called triple value. This function will triple any value that we send it. Our function will have one parameter called input value. This parameter will represent the value that we wish to multiply by 3. We will create a variable called value tripled that is assigned the value of the parameter multiplied by 3. Lastly, we will return our variable value tripled. Next, we will test the function to make sure that it works with a single number. When you're starting out, it's always important to test your functions because if they don't work with a single number, they definitely won't work with an array of numbers. To test, we will take the number 5 and pass it into our function to see what value is returned. We will enclose the method call in an alert function. 5 is sent into the function as the input value. It is tripled and the value is returned. Then the returned value is displayed in the alert message. Notice that expressions are executed from the innermost set of parentheses to the outermost set of parentheses. The 5 is represented in the innermost set of parentheses and it is passed into the triple value function. The returned value is then passed to the alert function. As you can see, we worked our way from the inner parentheses to the outer parentheses. We can save our work and run the code. And as expected, the 5 which is sent into the function is tripled and the function returns 15. Then the 15 is displayed in the alert message. As a shortcut for the function, we could avoid creating a variable altogether and simply return the value tripled. The value would be passed into the function, and 3 times the value would be returned. When we save and test the code, our function produces the same result. So this is how we triple a single number. Let's use the same function to triple all of the values in an array. First, we can delete the code that we used to test our function for one value. Next, we will create an array named starter array with the following numeric elements: 5, 8, 10, and 20. Now we want to transform each of these numbers to be 3 times the original value. We specify the array name, which is starter array, followed by a dot, then the word map, which represents the name of a method used for transforming each element of an array. In the parentheses, we will type the name of the function which we wish to use to operate on each value of the array. Since we want to run our array through the triple value function, we will type triple value. To display output like we did before, we will enclose the method call inside of an alert function. We can save and test our code, and you'll notice that the alert message displays values which are 3 times our initial array of 5, 8, 10, and 20. Back in the code window, we can also assign the output of our mapped array to another array that we are going to call tripled array. The benefit of this is that if we have additional processing that we need to do with the array, like for example if we want to subtract a value from every value in the array, we can map a new array to a function that performs the subtraction operation. Let's give you an example. I might create a function called subtract2 that subtracts 2 from the value passed as a parameter. We will return the parameter value minus 2. In the main program, our tripled value could be subtracted by 2 with the following function call. And we can display the returned array in an alert box. Again, first we triple the values of the original array and identify the array with the name tripled array. Then we call the map method of the tripled array using the subtract2 function to reduce the value of each element by 2. Lastly, the array is displayed in an alert message. If we save and test, you can see our values 5, 8, 10, and 20 are tripled. Then 2 is subtracted from each element. In this video, we learned how to use the map method to transform each element in an array to an element of a new array using a function. We started by creating and testing our function with a single value. Then we created an array and applied the map method, which called our function as the only argument. We saw that the output of the map method is a new array, and we assigned a name to the array. If you need to work with the returned values as a new array after processing, then map is an excellent tool. If you're simply processing the values of the array, you might be able to find a better solution than map, like for example using the for each method. So now you know how to work with the map method of an array. I hope you found this video enlightening. Thanks for watching.